Hello, SciEC communities. Welcome again to our channel. As already mentioned, this week we are going to um, look into the spanning tree protocol. Refer to the first video where the notion there was explaining spanning tree in the theory. Now, we have here a setup, three switches connected with each other. The objective in this video is only to see the parameter on the switch. For example, when you look at this topology, what do you think, which switch could be the root? Looking at this topology, you may say it may be switch A here on the left or switch C, all right? Because on switch B, one interface is blocked, okay? On the root bridge, you are expecting to have the port in A as designated port, okay? If you don't know the difference between designated and root port, check the video in the theory, okay? You will find it somewhere there showing on your screen. Let's check on this switch. Switch C, conf host name switch C. Okay, do show spanning tree. Oh, all ports are designated. This means this switch is not actually our root port, our root bridge. Why do I say that? Because all the ports are in designated forwarding. And one other parameter here is that you can see that the same MAC address is seen twice. One of the MAC address is saying, this is my MAC address. The other is saying, this is the MAC address of the root bridge. Okay? If you see, if those MAC addresses on the switch is different from each other, you will directly realize that it is not the root. Let's take, for example, switch A. Okay, I give here the name. Do show spanning tree. Look right here the difference. You have this MAC address is for the root, and this MAC address is for the switch itself. So, okay, the MAC address for the root, how does this switch learn it? Over which port? It learns it over port 3. Port 3 is going to the root. Okay, port 3. Look right here in the diagram. Port 3 is a port connected to the root. What does that mean for you? Which role should be this port? Should this be designated port or root port? If you listen carefully in the video, the first video where we handle the spanning tree theory, you will know that this port will be what? The root port. Look at it here. The role will be root port, and this one will be 01 will be designated. Port 3, root. Look right here. Port 3 is root. Port 3, root, meaning the port over which I can directly reach the root bridge. And the other port going to the next switch is a designated. On the last switch, switch B, conf host name switch B. This is the switch here on the upper section. We are expecting to have port 1 in which state? In blocking. And port 2 should be in which state? Should be root port. Let's check. Do show spanning tree. Port 2, root port, and in forwarding. And port 1, okay, I said designated or alternative, should be alternative, alternative blocking. Why alternative? It is only a kind of to say it is a backup. It will get active forwarding, it will be in forwarding once this port here either go to blocking or it's disabled. Meaning that is how spanning tree enable us to logically avoid having a loop. Now, this interface it is in blocking. It means it doesn't forward any traffic. But remember it. still receive and forward what? BPDUs, Bridge Protocol Data Unit. Over this interface, the switch still send out and receive BPDUs. Okay? The whole time, the switch is sending and receiving BPDUs no matter in which mode the port is, except the port is shut down. Okay? But as long as the port is active and a switch is connected to, or any device is connected to, it will be sending out and receiving BPDUs, okay, Bridge Protocol Data Unit, and will be recalculating in a certain interval, okay? This is what I wanted to show you in this diagram, in this setup, to learn how to play with spanning tree, to understand what we cover in the theory. I will not go deeper in the theory for now, but if you have questions, ask specific question, your concern, I can address them by showing you a simulation where I explain the stuff, or I can come up with another theoretical video and the practical one. Okay, but this will be based on your question. Share them with others in the comment section. Join me also on YouTube, where the folder is really good structure. And if you have any suggestion, be so nice and send me your suggestion in the comment area. Okay, this is all for now. And look right here, we have 100 megabit interfaces. Reason why the port cost is 19. In the next video, we will see how we can manipulate the spanning tree parameter. You see here, for example, switch B is having port 1 as in blocking. Okay? In the next video, we will see how we can manipulate the spanning tree parameter to have port 2 in blocking and port 1 in forwarding. Okay? Meaning, from switch B, instead of reaching the root bridge directly over port 2, he would prefer to go over port 1. Is that the best path? For this is not a question, but for the task, we have to manipulate like that. And those questions, you will have it in your exam. Okay? Understand how you can manipulate the parameter is key. Okay? And spanning tree, and will be in your routing protocol, ARGRP, OSPF, BGP, ISIS, whatsoever. All right? Understand the fact, understand the principle, the concept. It's critical for the next step. Okay? Keep tuned for the next video. Bye-bye. Sahelnetwork.